Howdy folks, Darren Ray Fonso here talking about workers' compensation and labor and industries as we call it here in the state of Washington. Today's topic is about federal oversight of workers' compensation as something that a lot of us injured workers are trying to get on the table for our politicians to address or to get our issue addressed. For a national workers' comp commission to be instituted like we had in 1972, where there were some standards implemented, standards that we were told we needed, but nobody ever implemented or made them law. Anyway, so what this video is about is WILG, the Workers' Law and Advocacy Group, a national group of work comp lawyers who are fighting for our rights and trying to get the truth told and advocating for us, and with our legislators and trying to get the injured workers' voices heard. And they do help sometimes bring up the Fed oversight issue and the need for that. And then I've also the National Council for Occupational Safety and Health. These are two different groups who I've tried to get help from on and off, and they do help us to a certain degree to get the issue heard. But some of us injured workers have had some concerns, myself included, with whether or not our unions are speaking up enough for us on our federal oversight issue, and whether or not our labor voices across the nation are standing up and speaking up for us on this issue loud and clearly, as others are screaming louder for the Medicare for All issue and other issues, then us injured workers can cry out to get our issue on the table. So what I have done is called and appealed to both of these groups as an injured worker for help to get our voices heard. And they have agreed. A couple of them reached out, a lady from WILG, and then also a lady from the National Council for Occupational and Safety Health reached out to me and to the injured workers community, and has agreed that they would like to help us get us our voices organized so that we can unite around the Fed oversight and try to get our issue on the table. So this is a big step, and what I would like to do is try to help facilitate that in a certain way to make that happen. But I do have certain issues as an injured worker, and as Jason Call, who runs for United States Congress, has elaborated to certain folks, that I have I have anger issues and I'm unable to work well with others, and so I agree with him to a certain degree with that, and so did a couple judges. But in that regard, what I would like to see happen with the injured workers community and the national COSH and WILG is for these folks to all get together, and if Nash COSH is willing to help us, that some injured workers from the injured workers community, and you can be from either party, it doesn't matter which party you're from. What I would like to see asked, though, is that you investigate and that you see that we need the minimum federal oversight, and that's what would be the focal point of this group. We would be organizing to unite around the needed federal oversight. So yeah, members from either side, it doesn't matter. We would like to hear your voices, and even if you don't want the federal oversight, I suppose come and talk too. We need to hear all sides. That's the problem. Our voices are not being heard on this issue, and we're not being allowed at the table. Some of us feel nationally, and the people who were supposed to be representing their voices have been kind of silent, and yet COVID came up, and now all of a sudden our issue that I have been told by politicians in my Northwest here, we can't put on the issue on the table for 5 years now, all of a sudden our issue is now put to the forefront when we have people dying on their jobs from a virus. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I wanted to keep this short and sweet, and I want to thank the National COSH if they're willing to reach out and help us injured workers seeking the minimum federal oversight and have a way of getting our voices collectively heard, and a way to organize and where we should go forth and who we should go forth with our questions and our answers or our solutions to the war that is being waged upon all of us. And like I like to say is work comp is an equal opportunity oppressor. They don't care if you're Republican or Democrat or if it's a red state or a blue state. The same war is being waged upon us no matter where you live or which state you reside in. So I'll leave it at that, and hopefully, as we move forward, our labor voices across the nation, as they cry about the COVID and the needing some minimum federal standards for that, they'll also stand up and speak up for the minimum federal standards the rest of America's injured workers need as well. When the advocates like Swant speak out against Amazon and other people who are supposed to be our labor voices, Robert Reich, who was former labor secretary, when all of them are speaking out about injured workers, and none of them are talking about the minimum federal oversight that we need, then that is our labor voices failing us on this issue. And so I would hope that maybe we could all come together with the National COSH for Occupational and Safety Health, and then maybe they could help us talk to the union folks, and maybe WILG could help us talk to the boatmen's, longshoremen union folks, to maybe start getting our issue back on the table. Thank you, and like I say, it doesn't, like I say, all injured workers, all of you, are invited to participate in this endeavor. Like I say, stay tuned for more to come. I'm still trying to talk with them. I don't know how. I'm not an organizer. I'm not really an advocate either, really. I claim to be that sometimes, but I'm not even that. What I am is a whistleblower, and I'm a damn good one. But beyond that, I don't know what more to do than blow the whistle. And so hopefully these National COSH folks will show us what to do beyond blowing the whistle. Thank you. And I hope everybody would like to try and participate, even whether you like me or not. These people are some nice folks, and the WILG folks, they're the really smart folks, and with the law degrees. So let's give it a chance, and I would like to try and see something come of it. Like I said, I may not be involved with it all that great, and I need to kind of step aside and let some other injured workers do it, because I do have issues and I would just mess it up. So that's why I'm kind of hoping that maybe some that aren't as damaged, maybe as I am on this issue, that might be able to help out, and like I say, you help be the voice for all of us. Why does one of us just have to be the voice? We all need to. It's our voices in unison coming together that's going to help make this movement that we need, and so that we can educate the public, the general public, that is basically clueless about this war on America's injured workers, and how a lot of us are being cost shifted off to SSDI, and basically some of us have seen this as aging injured workers being purged to the streets when we dare to report our on-the-job injuries, after we're like the age of 35. So, anyways, that can all be hashed out, when however we get some kind of group that can come together to, maybe, I don't know how to do that. The National COSH lady is, maybe they're the organizers. So let's talk to the organizers, and let's see how they can do it, because I've been trying for 5 years on my own, and other injured workers out there, we're all swinging in the air on our own, and we got to come together collectively around one issue and one focal point if we're ever going to get our issue as a collective class addressed. Thank you, and have a good day.